The Economic Community of West African States narrowly escaped another coup d'etat by some military officers who announced a military takeover in Benin. A group of soldiers who announced that they had ousted President Patrice Talon, after which his entourage said he was safe and the army was regaining control. Here is a recap of the successful coups on the continent over the last 5 years. Malian President Ibrahim Keita was overthrown by 5 army colonels in August 2020. In May 2021, the Malian military took over from civilian leaders of an interim government. Colonel Assimi Keita, who led both coups, was sworn in as a transitional president. After promising elections in February 2024, the military postponed them indefinitely, citing jihadist violence. In July 2025, Keita approved a law granting himself a 5-year presidential mandate renewable without election. In September, jihadists launched a full blockade, weakening the ruling junta. On September 5, 2021, Guinea mutinous troops, led by Lieutenant Colonel Mamadi, seized power, arresting President Alpha Conte. Damboye submitted his candidacy in early November 2025 ahead of December 28 elections intended to restore constitutional order. After weeks of tension between military and civilian leaders who had shared power since the ousting of dictator Omar al-Bashir of Sudan, Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan staged a coup on October 25, 2021. Since April 2023, war has raged between the regular armed forces led by Burhan and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, commanded by his former deputy Mohamed Hamdan Daglo. The conflict had killed tens of thousands and created one of the world's humanitarian crises. Burkina Faso experienced 2 military coups in 2022. In January, mutinous soldiers led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandaogo arrested President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore. In September, army officers announced Damiba's dismissal. Captain Ibrahim Traoré became the transitional president, but promised that elections will not materialize. In May 2024, the junta authorized him to stay for another 5 years amid ongoing Islamist violence. Niger, on July 26, 2023, members of the Presidential Guard overthrew Niger's President Mohamed Bazoum, elected in 2021. General Abdurrahmane Tiani, head of the Presidential Guard, assumed power. In March 2025, the junta extended its transitional leadership by at least 5 years in a country plagued by jihadist violence. In Gabon, ruled for 55 years by the Bongo family, army officers overthrew President Ali Bongo Ondimba on August 30, 2023. Less than an hour after he was declared the winner of an election the opposition called fraudulent. General Brice Oligui Akuma was named the transitional president. In April 2025, he was elected president with 94.85% of the vote and sworn in under a new constitutional approved by referendum during the transition. Madagascar in October 2025, military ousted President André Rajoelina following weeks of Gen Z anti-government protests. Army Colonel Michael was sworn in as Madagascar's new president, promising elections within 18 to 24 months. Guinea-Bissau in November 2025, military officers declared they had total control of Guinea-Bissau, closing borders and suspending the electoral process 3 days after general elections. The military said a command composed of all branches of the armed forces will lead the country until further notice. As African citizens clamor for good governance, this troubling trend may continue to create setbacks for the continent. Punaraman Benjamin, Arise News.